A skull and some ribs suspected to be those of murdered model Abby Choi were discovered in a soup pot, which was found at the house in Tai Po.
Her severed head and ribs were found boiling in a pot of soup. Those chilling words set the stage for one of the most gruesome and high-profile murder cases Hong Kong has ever seen. The killing of model and influencer Abby Choi at the hands of her own former in-laws. Abby, a socialite, was found dismembered, exposing a dark side to her seemingly glamorous life. What led her ex-husband's family, whom she had been very generous to do something so horrible? This is the tragic story of Abby Choi, a tale of wealth, privilege, and the darkness that can fester from greed and jealousy. Born on July 11, 1994, Abby rose to prominence through her lavish lifestyle and impeccable fashion sense, amassing over 100,000 followers on Instagram and gracing the covers of prestigious magazines like Vogue and L'Officiel. Little did anyone know that behind the glitz and glamour lay a dark cloud that would eventually lead to her untimely demise at just the age of 28. Abby's disappearance on February 21, 2023, sent shockwaves through Hong Kong and beyond, and the subsequent unraveling of events surrounding her murder left the world horrified and outraged. Described as a kind-hearted individual and a dedicated philanthropist, Abby co-founded the Palmares Charitable Organization, an animal rescue group dedicated to helping stray animals. Her life seemed picture-perfect, a successful career, a loving family, and a heart for giving back to the community. Yet, fate had other plans, and Abby's story took a twisted turn that would forever etch her name in the annals of Hong Kong's most notorious crimes. Born into a wealthy family with construction and mining businesses in mainland China, Abby and her three sisters never wanted material possessions. Her mother, Chung Yin-fa, a divorced woman who later remarried Choi Cho-san, would go on to amass fortune through their business ventures, setting the stage for Abby's lavish lifestyle. In 2012, at the tender age of 20, Abby embarked on her influencer journey on Instagram, sharing glimpses of her designer handbags and opulent surroundings with the world. Her first post showcased a Lady Dior handbag worth an impressive 61,000 Hong Kong dollars, a foreshadowing of the extravagance that would become her trademark. With her striking looks, keen eye for fashion, and a seemingly endless supply of luxury goods, Abby quickly garnered attention, earning invitations to exclusive parties and fashion events hosted by esteemed brands like Dior. Abby's personal life was no less eventful than her professional endeavors. At the young age of 18, she married Alex Kwong, with whom she had 2 children. Despite their eventual divorce just 3 years later, Abby maintained a close relationship with her ex-husband and his family. She even went as far as to purchase a luxurious apartment worth a staggering $67 million for them in the exclusive Kadoorie Hill neighborhood, a decision that would later prove fateful. After her first marriage ended, Abby found love again with Chris Tam, the son of a wealthy restaurateur and co-founder of the popular Tamjai Yunnan Mixian chain. Their union was blessed with 2 more children, creating a blended family of 6. Everything seemed to be going well for Abby, a happy family, and financial freedom, but on that fateful day, February 21st, 2023, Abby Choi seemingly vanished into thin air, setting off a chain of events that would rock Hong Kong to its core. She had left her home in the early afternoon to pick up her daughter from school, a routine task she performed regularly as a devoted mother. However, when the final bell rang, Abby was nowhere to be found, and her daughter was left waiting, confused and anxious. Calls and text messages to Abby went unanswered, and her social media activity, usually a constant stream of updates and interactions, came to an abrupt halt. Within 2 hours of her failure to pick up her daughter, Abby was reported missing, and the authorities sprang into action, dedicating over 150 officers to the case. Surveillance footage from her apartment complex captured her wearing a white outfit and carrying a purple handbag, likely en route to pick up her daughter as planned. The timestamp on the footage provided a crucial clue indicating the approximate window during which Abby had seemingly vanished without a trace. The investigation took a disturbing turn when GPS records from the vehicle, driven by Abby's former brother-in-law and hired driver Anthony Kwong, placed it in the remote Tai Po district and the village of Hugelmaier, a 20-mile journey from Hong Kong's city center. The suspicious activity sparked a surge of action, prompting the police to conduct door-to-door inquiries and meticulously scrutinize surveillance footage from nearby residences. As the hours ticked by, the sense of unease grew, and the specter of foul play loomed larger with each passing moment. Abby's disappearance was no longer just a missing persons case. It had taken on the sinister undertones of a potential abduction or worse. 3 days after Abby's disappearance, on February 24th, the unthinkable happened, shattering any remaining hope for her safe return. Police, acting on the GPS data and surveillance footage from Hugelmaier, honed in on a ground-floor flat in the village, and what they discovered inside sent shockwaves through the community, leaving even the most seasoned investigators shaken to their core. Amid a scene that can only be described as a makeshift butcher's shop, they found dismembered human remains, including 2 legs stored in a refrigerator and a human skull and ribs boiling in soup pots. The gruesome discovery was accompanied by a chilling array of tools: a meat slicer, an electric saw, cleavers, choppers, and even face shields and raincoats, all pointing to a premeditated and calculated act of violence that defied comprehension. A massive search ensued involving over 100 officers, divers, cadaver dogs, analysts, and drones. Every corner of the village, even the cemetery, was meticulously combed. Despite finding Abby's head and confirming her identity through DNA, her hands and torso remained missing, intensifying the search. As the investigation unfolded, a disturbing pattern emerged, pointing the finger squarely at Abby's former in-laws, the Quong family. At the center of this twisted web were Alex Kwong, Abby's ex-husband, his brother Anthony Kwong, their father Quong Kao, a disgraced former police officer, and their mother Jenny Lee. The Quong family's financial troubles and criminal activities cast a dark shadow over their relationship with Abby. Alex had previously run an underground investment scam, defrauding several wealthy individuals out of millions. But Alex's criminal endeavors didn't stop there. It was revealed that he was also a suspect in 7 alleged cases of theft spanning nearly a decade before Abby's murder. His rap sheet included the theft of 39 necklaces, 32 bracelets, 13 gold bars, 102 gold grains, 6 pendants, and 10 taels of gold. A staggering haul that spoke volumes about his disregard for the law. Anthony, Abby's former brother-in-law and hired driver, was no stranger to financial woes either. By 2019, he found himself in an eye-watering amount of debt, ultimately being sued by a local bank for his inability to pay. But the true catalyst for the unthinkable act appeared to be Abby's decision to sell the luxurious Kaduri Hill apartment she had purchased for the Quong family years earlier. As Abby began making plans to sell the property, tensions escalated within the Quong family. Quong Kao, the former police officer with a checkered past, vehemently opposed her decision. The motive, according to police investigations, was rooted in a money dispute and the potential loss of the luxurious apartment they had grown accustomed to living in. Abby, ever the kind-hearted soul, had even begun exploring options to purchase a new home for the Kwong family, unwittingly sealing her own tragic fate. The planning and execution of Abby's abduction and murder were meticulously orchestrated by the Kwong family members. According to police reports, Kwong Kao, the mastermind behind the heinous plot, had rented out the village house in Hugelmaier weeks in advance, with the sole intention of dismembering Abby's body and destroying all evidence of her murder. On the day of her disappearance, February 21st, Abby had arranged for Anthony, her former brother-in-law and hired driver, to pick her up from Kadoorie Hills so they could then proceed to pick up her daughter from school. Unbeknownst to Abby, the Quang family had planned to use this routine arrangement as a cover for her abduction. As Abby entered the vehicle driven by Anthony, she was allegedly met by Alex Kwong, who had been waiting in ambush. The brothers then drove her to the entrance of the Lion Rock Tunnel, where their father, Kwong Kao, was waiting. From there, they continued their journey to the rented village house in Hugelmaier, where the unthinkable unfolded. On the afternoon of February 21st, law enforcement, aided by surveillance cameras and GPS records from Anthony's vehicle, were led to the front steps of Kao Kwong's village flat. The officers spent hours there, working late into the night. It was obvious they had found something significant, but the black curtains blocking the windows, the 6 blue alphabetized boxes outside, and the white vehicle towed away just before midnight gave no clear indication of what they had discovered. Soon, the police revealed the horrifying truth about this seemingly ordinary village home, which turned out to be anything but. Inside, the flat was almost entirely unfurnished, except for a couch, a table, and basic appliances like a refrigerator. The decor was utilitarian, with plastic sheeting covering the walls and various gear, including raincoats, face shields, a hammer, a meat grinder, chopping blades, and an electric saw scattered around the flat. The police also found an ID, a credit card, and a purple Hermes bag, all belonging to Abby, but Abby herself was nowhere to be found. When officers opened the refrigerator, they made a gruesome discovery: Abby's legs. This meant that more of Abby had yet to be found. In the apartment, they also found 2 pots of soup containing radishes, carrots, meat, and a thick layer of fat. Initially, this seemed innocuous, but tests soon revealed the horrifying truth. Among the vegetables were human flesh and tissue, both from Abby. These chilling discoveries made it clear that this was no longer a missing persons case, but a murder investigation into who was responsible for taking Abby Choi's life. On February 25th, authorities swiftly arrested Anthony Quong, Alex's brother and Abby's former driver, as well as Alex's parents, Kwong Kao and Jenny Lee. However, Alex himself remained at large, prompting a massive search effort that even involved Hong Kong's elite Flying Tigers Special Forces unit. In a dramatic turn of events that gripped the nation, Alex was eventually apprehended on February 26th while attempting to flee the country by speedboat from Tong Chung Development Pier. Authorities apprehended Ng Chi Wing, Kwong Kao's alleged mistress, on suspicion of aiding Alex's attempted escape. 2 more suspects, Lam Shun, and Irene Pun Hao Yin were also charged with abetting a murder suspect, bringing the total number of individuals implicated in the case to 7. As the legal proceedings unfolded, the charges against the Quang family members and their accomplices painted a grim picture of the alleged crimes committed. Alex Kwong, Anthony Kwong, and Kwong Kao were charged with murder, while Jenny Lee faced charges of perverting the course of justice, a testament to the severity of their alleged actions. Under Hong Kong's legal system, a conviction for murder carries a mandatory life sentence, a stark reminder of the gravity of their alleged crimes and the potential consequences they faced. Prior to 1993, the death penalty was the sole legal punishment for murder in Hong Kong, but it has since been fully abolished, allowing judges to impose life sentences as the permissible penalty for such heinous acts. As the case progressed, a pre-trial conference was held on May 8, 2023, with 6 of the 7 suspects behind Abby's murder appearing in court. The prosecution revealed damning evidence, including bloodstains matching Abby's DNA found inside the car of her former brother-in-law, Anthony Kwong. Additionally, over 30 exhibits seized by the police from the village house, including knives, chainsaws, and hammers, would be sent for DNA processing, further solidifying the case against the accused. As the wheels of justice turned, the world watched with bated breath, eager for closure and a resolution that would bring some peace to Abby's loved ones and the broader community. Hong Kong, known for its safety, was deeply rattled by this brutal act, shattering the sense of security its residents once felt. This case also reflects on the destructive power of greed, which can poison even the closest bonds. The alleged actions of the Quang family, motivated by financial troubles and a quest for wealth, reveal how far some will go for selfish gain, even at the cost of a life. However, amidst this darkness, Abby Choi shines as a beacon of hope. Known for her kindness, philanthropy, and love for her family, including those who harmed her, she displayed boundless generosity, such as buying a new home for the Quang family, despite threats and hostility directed at her. In a world that often seems consumed by negativity and cynicism, Abby's spirit and compassion remind us of the inherent goodness that resides within the human heart. If you found value in our exploration of this case, please consider liking this video, subscribing to our channel, and leaving your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. Your engagement helps to amplify these stories and ensures that the voices of victims like Abby are never silenced. Until the next video, stay safe.